I'm a huge fan of Invader Zim. It easily enters my top 10 animated show list for its twisted character design, diverse interpretation of society, and unique stories filled with plots that will drive you mad in fear and desperation. And yet, it all comes out really hilarious. The show itself has a unique vibe to it that no other show has been able to imitate. Not that many shows aspire to be Invader Zim anyway.
No, you lie! You lie! Liar! When will the lies end?
But what makes Invader Zim so unique? I have heard many people talking about Invader Zim being a ripoff of the Ren and Stimpy show, with all the exaggerated expressions and nonsensical plot. But that never cut the cheese for me. I know the show draws inspiration from other shows, but I never ended believing that this show was a Ren and Stimpy clone. It was too unique and too twisted in its own damn way to be a mere ripoff. So where does Invader Zim take inspiration from? What gives it unique and deranged mojo that either chases away or drags us into madness? Well, after a lot of thinking and reading, the answer may be far more insane than we could have imagined. Because Invader Zim draws inspiration from the master of horror himself, Howard Philip Lovecraft. Sounds crazy, huh? A little cartoon show that gets inspiration from the Grand Master of Horror himself. But it's not really that crazy when you see Invader Zim as a whole, especially when you remember that it's powered by the imagination of Jonan Vasquez. Though Invader Zim's main plot are the misadventures of the titular invader and its adorable robot psychic named Ger, as they are sent into a phony invasion of planet Earth,
It's got chicken legs!
the show takes a strange twist as they introduce the main antagonist slash co-protagonist of the series, the deformed Earthling boy named Div. And here is where my hypothesis begins to take shape. The antagonism between Zim and Div is one of the driving forces of the greater plot. But what makes it different from other classic cartoon antagonisms is the fact that most of the antagonism happen in front of the rest of the world. Time and time again, Div's attempts to prove that Zim is an alien in front of his peers, and time again he is ostracized because he believes. Granted, Div is a stereotype of all crazy paranormal investigators. Oddly enough, Div seems to have collected enough evidence to prove that everything he claims exists, yet the world keeps shunning him.
Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so... Zim is an alien! Why do I even have to try to prove it this much? Come on, just look at him!
Curiously, it is with Div that the genius of Lovecraft is added to the formula. You see, in Lovecraft stories, it's always clear at some point that the protagonist is aware of the monster lurking in the shadows. The protagonist discovers in different degrees that there is something wrong and attempts to inform the world about it, yet the world, instead of listening to him, treat him, that is, the hero, like Cassandra, and ignore his every word or declare the protagonist insane. All of this is captured perfectly, despite excellent evidence of inspiration from society, yet, like a hero of Greek tragedy, he keeps trying to do things, though he and even when he succeeds, he still manages to lose, like in the episode The Sad, Sad Tale of Chickenfoot, where, after unmasking a fraud in public, he makes the people doubt everything he believes in, even more than before.
Crazies believing in anything? We also disprove the frauds!
I bet this means Bigfoot is a fraud too!
And UFOs! And hobos!
All of this adds to the idea of madness and isolation found in Lovecraft. But beyond it, there are many more elements of Lovecraftian origin parading in the shadows of the show. Madness is a cornerstone of the show's humor, with several episodes dwelling into suffering and horror, with its greatest accomplishment being Dark Harvest, an episode about Zim harvesting organs from children and replacing them with stuff. Another element is the invader race, to which Zim belongs to, which may also mirror an element in Lovecraft stories, mainly the horrors from space. Though they rarely pay attention to Zim and are constantly belittling him, the mighty leaders of the invader race, called the tallest, have several activities that parallel them to the horrors from beyond, described in Lovecraft stories, mainly their vast power and their inevitability. Though Earth was for them a planet beyond their charted maps, it has been clear that the invader empire is in constant expansion, and sooner or later they would reach Earth. Add to that they are virtually unstoppable, and you get yourself a scary prospect for something from outer space. Lovecraftian magic also makes itself present, though in few episodes and usually by the hand of Gas, Deep's creepy little sister who seems to be a badass incarnation of hell. On that note, Deep is usually played as the only sane person in the show, but I think the prize goes to Gas, because she knows Zim is an invader, but also knows that Zim is such a crappy invader that there really isn't nothing to fear. Yet despite all those elements, the show is genius at being fun, and it's a master of stealing laughs, though they may be somewhat twisted. And that is because everything that is crazy and maddening is not due to an unsettling factor like a horror from beyond, which is taking over the populace or twisting their very thoughts. No. The real reason behind it is that people are stupid. No, seriously. It's like everyone had half their brain scooped out and left with the common sense of a drunken crab. People, aliens, robots, appliances, everything oozes stupidity. The world of Invader Zim paralyzes our own by making the populace a cattle-like creature unable to think and incapable of trying to improve in any way. It sure is a bleak world, and it makes me laugh my ass off. All in all, Invader Zim is a twisted show, and that's why it's such a divisive cartoon in terms of liking it. I mean, when you get a monstrous abomination and plots powered by sheer insanity and lack of restraints, you either ride the roller coaster and enjoy it, or run away in terror and hide under your bed with a cross and praying to the god of your choosing. That's why the show is still so relevant to this day, and has harnessed a very powerful cult following. It is unique, twisted, and has dared to take risks, and for that its humor transcends the series. It is a shame that the show lasted less than 2 full seasons, but it wasn't up to Nickelodeon's alley. Nick has always been known to be a very light-hearted and twin-friendly channel, so this show was easily regarded as the black dot in Nickelodeon's innocent heart. But how I really see it is that Invader Zim may have been one of the few redeeming specks of dust in the soulless corporation that is known as Viacom.